Okay, this is Katie doing her finger prick test. So she draws blood, luckily she has. And then she sets up the device. Puts the blood onto the little strip. And then the machine, which is ever so clever, will tell Katie what her... Right, 9.3, that's a pretty good reading. It's just above range, but it's pretty good. And Katie does this multiple times a day. Okay, this is part of our fridge, which we've constantly got to have. Katie's, that's the insulin that she has to have once a day, which is like a background insulin. This horrible orange thing, that's an emergency glucagon pen, which is basically if she's unconscious, beyond the fact where she can have sugar, we inject her with that. We've always got loads of cans of Dr. Pepper, that brings her sugars up. And this is her upside down Nova Rapid insulin, which is basically, she has that every single time that she eats. This is what I call Katie's cupboard. It's got like her snacks, sugar, chocolate, Freddos, they're her favourites. And then all the things that she needs for her devices, which is screw-on needles for the end of the pens, the finger prickers that go inside the finger pricker, and the Accu-Chek test strips which go inside her machine. This is the top stair, which doesn't look particularly interesting, but this is the place where quite frequently Katie has shouted me because she's sitting there because she's so low and her blood sugars have dropped that she literally can't walk down the stairs, and I have to come up here and sit with her, hold the can with her because she drops it all the time, and make sure that she drinks at least a can of Dr. Pepper so that she can then move. And this is a sharp spin, which basically is where we put all the sharp stuff, and it gets filled very fast, and then we have to ring the council and have it taken away. This is the medical bracelet she's got to wear wherever she goes. She gets annoyed by having to wear it, so we've got a variety of colours so that they match whatever outfit she's wearing, and then we don't have as many arguments. And these are the numerous letters that she receives for things like the annual eye test that she has to have, the 4 times a year diabetes clinic appointments she has to have, the blood tests that she has to have, the weight management, the dietitian that she sees, the psychologist she can have if she requires, but she's got me. And this is the dad, Joe, who is currently making her tea. She has to eat regularly, promptly, and she has to add up the carbs of every single meal, which after doing for years, we kind of, what we have to do is we keep the boxes every time we make anything, because usually it will tell you the carb content on the back. But we've kind of got the gist now, haven't we, Joe, of we know what's in, say, a plate of chips, we know what's in a plate of broccoli. You just end up knowing these things by heart. And this is the brother, Connor, who sadly doesn't live here anymore because he's 27, left home. But he basically had to live in a house where often he didn't get that much attention because we had a 7-year-old who'd just been diagnosed with, you know, a serious condition like type 1 diabetes. So basically, he's been a superstar over the years. And this is the book that she inspired. Her bravery. And this is the sink where often I cry, because it's the one place where you can kind of cry on your own with the water running. Okay, so as I said before, every single meal that Katie has, she has to add up exactly what the carbs are. So we've got a notepad here over the years where we've kind of written down Katie's carb counting book, common meals that she has, so that we can like refer to it. We've also generally learned, but today, for example, she is having some vegetables, which are 0 carbs, so you don't have to count those. She's having one of these vegetarian grills because she's also vegetarian, which is 22 grams. So 22 grams for that. Actually, potatoes you do include, they're about 30 grams, nothing for the other vegetables. She's having stuffing, which should be in the book somewhere, but it isn't. I'm going to guess about 30 for the stuffing. And then if she has ketchup, which she absolutely loves, she puts on everything, I'd say that's about another 10. If she has a yoghurt, that's about 25. So I make that, trying to hold the video on the pen, 5, 8, 9, 1, 1, 7. So she needs, if the ratio of her insulin is 1 to 10, she needs 11 approximately. But it depends if that's the ratio, because if it's a meal where she then crashes afterwards, she has to have less insulin, so the ratio has to be higher, and vice versa. So you can see how complicated this can be. And this is the bathroom where poor Katie gets no peace, because I read a horror story, true story, about a type 1 diabetic that had hypo while in the bath and drowned. Sadly, it is something that happens, because obviously if you're in water and you have a hypo, you know, obviously you might not be able to get out of the bath. So I'm always knocking on the door asking if Katie's okay. Obviously that irritates her, but obviously I'm a bit nervous. And finally, before she eats, Katie makes the injection that she has to have every single time she eats. She's having 13 units. That's how you just squeeze it, just to test it. Measure the dose. Shake it. She's an old pro. And then, luckily, you can do it through clothes as long as they're very thin, like leggings.